Hello, brilliant minds! Welcome to Woodlawn Web Academy. Today, our Kansas Jayhawks are going to teach us the basketball method of double-digit multiplication. Before we begin, let's go over our vocabulary words. Ones place. Any number less than 10 and greater than 0 sits in the first place, farthest from the right, farthest to the right, in a double-digit number. The tens place, any digit that represents numbers greater than 9 and less than 100 sits in the second place, next to the ones place, in a double-digit number. Factors are numbers that are multiplied together in a multiplication equation. Product is the answer to a multiplication equation. Okay, let's begin. Imagine our basketball court at the start of the game. We have players from each team on separate sides of the court. We have two players facing each other in the center of the court, ready to catch the ball at the start of the game.
The Jayhawks control the opening pass.
Let's imagine that the KState players are wearing jersey numbers 1 and 4. The KU players are wearing the jersey numbers 3 and 6. The game whistle blows and KU player 6 catches the ball and starts to head forward towards the basket. The K-State player 4 is right in front of player 6 and ready to guard him. Player 6 is guarded by 4, but he still makes the basket. This is where you'll multiply 6 times 4 to get our first ones-digit place value, or the first number of points for the game. So 6 times 4 equals 24. We only have one place value for the answer, so we must use the ones place. 4 will go in the ones place, and 2 in the tens place will be carried up above as another player. So player 6 gets 4 points for his team, and it goes on the scoreboard. Now, player 1 on the K-State team catches the ball after the basket, and player 6 is the closest KU player because he's just made a basket. Oh no! Player 6 is going to have to guard player 1, but he is so tired from making the last basket, he's going to need some help from a teammate to guard player 1. This is where your extra tens will be carried above the 1 in the tens place, like an extra player helping to guard K-State's player 1. Player 6 guards player 1 with the extra help from KU's player 2, but K-State's player 1 still makes the basket. This is where you'll multiply 6 times 1, then add your extra 2. 6 times 1 equals 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. So K-State's player 1 gets an extra 8 points for his team. And it's added to the scoreboard. Phew, we made it to halftime. get cleared off the court, so player 2 won't play for a while again. Now here's the fun part. You are a fan of one of these teams and it is halftime. You've worked up an appetite with all that cheering and you want some popcorn. You walk to the food stand and buy yourself some popcorn. Place your popcorn bowl underneath the ones place of your scoreboard. This symbol is called a placeholder because in the next step of your multiplication, you cannot use the ones place anymore. You will now be working with your tens place. Your popcorn bowl takes up that ones place to remind you not to put any numbers there. It's time for the second half. The same starting players line up. The game whistle blows and KU's player 3 catches the ball this time. Since K-State's player 1 just had to play against 2 players before halftime, he is tired. So K-State's player 4 runs up to defend player 3. Player 3 still makes the basket and gets 2 points for his team. This is when you would multiply 3 times 4. 3 times 4 equals 12, but only 2 in the ones place will go below the tens place value, and the 1 in the tens place of 12 will get carried up above as another player. K-State's player 1 rebounds the ball, and KU's player 3 is closest to the basket. He'll have to guard player 1, but oh no! He's so tired from making his basket, he'll need another teammate to help guard player 1 of K-State. KU's player 1 rushes forward to help. This is where you'll carry the extra 1 from your 12 above the tens place. KU's player 3 and player 1 are guarding K-State's player 1, but K-State still makes the basket and earns another 4 points for his team. This is where you'll multiply 3 times 1 and add your extra 1 to get 4. The score goes on the scoreboard just as the buzzer buzzes and time runs out on the clock. The game is over. Now, when you've completed your game, you're going to add up the score from the first half with the score from the second half to get the winning total score. You can choose who the winning team is. So, 4 plus nothing equals 4. 8 plus 2 equals 10. 0 goes below and 1 is carried to the next place value. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Your total winning score is 504. When you are multiplying double-digit numbers by double-digit numbers, you will always use this method in the same order as we played our basketball game. Start with the ones digit in the bottom factor and multiply with the number above. Then put your total ones below the ones place and carry any extra tens above the tens place. Then use the same number you started with and multiply across to the number above in the tens place. Add any extra tens you carried before, then stick a placeholder below the ones place in your first product. Move to the tens place in the bottom factor and multiply across to the number in the ones place of the top factor. Line up your ones digit with the tens place of your first product and carry any extra tens above the tens place value in your top factor. Then multiply your bottom tens digit by your top tens digit. Add any extra tens you carried before and place this total next to the tens place of your second product. Then add up both products to get your total. The pattern is multiply up, across, across, up, then add. And there you have it. Please feel free to ask any questions of Mrs. Gilmore or classmates as you practice the basketball method of double-digit multiplication. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk, go KU!